And Coulter, best-selling author. You know, her latest book, In Trump We Trust, weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. If you haven't read it, get it. And, of course, you can get her new column. It comes out tomorrow. But you go to AnnCoulter.com. If you sign up there, you'll get it first, AnnCoulter.com. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you, Mark Simone?
Very good. Let me ask you, Donald Trump tweets out that. I thought that CNN video was kind of funny. That was cute. I
loved it.
And then
mostly knowing what the response was going to be. Although I like silly Gifs, but knowing, as he knew, as we all knew, that they would wildly overreact, it made it much funnier. Okay, proceed.
But then when you say, it's inciting violence, then we say, well, what about the Shakespeare in the park where they're stabbing him and there's blood? And well, that's different. That's freedom of expression.
No, I know. And it was unfortunate that it was on a holiday weekend because it was hard to go to the beach and go biking. You just wanted to stay in and watch CNN as they convened panels of experts asking how many journalists are going to die. It was so hysterical. I could barely tear myself away from the television set. So I have to salute the master, Donald Trump. And I mean, apart from their utter ridiculous hysteria, as I have pointed out before, and it has to be said every time something like this comes up, all political violence comes from the left in America. We may as well, convene councils on women who rape men. That is how rare right-wing violence is in this country, described in great detail in my book, Demonic, about mobs. The left is a mob. This is how they operate. They are the descendants of the French Revolution, skipping around with pikes on heads. And consequently, every political assassination of a president or attempted assassination in this nation's history has been committed by someone on the left, not one by someone on the right. We've already had two Bernie Sanders supporters this year either commit murder or attempt to commit murder for political reasons. There was the Bernie Sanders supporter in May out on a train in Washington State who stabbed to death two white men protecting two Muslim women from verbal abuse. That guy was a little bit nutty, but absolute full-on Bernie Sanders supporter, no question about it. Hated Hillary and hated Donald Trump. All you heard about that was an act of Islamophobia, which was somewhat surprising considering the two Muslim women walked off the train unscathed. 3 white men were stabbed, 2 died. Okay, that was the May Sanders supporters murder. And then, of course, last month you had the Sanders supporters shooting up the baseball field of Republican leadership and Republicans from Congress. These are just the recent ones. The day that CNN was hysterically talking about all the terror they've come under, a Trump supporter in Philadelphia was hospitalized at a pro-Trump rally in honor of 4th of July. Just a man standing there with a Trump sign, beaten up so much he's hospitalized. I mean, with this constant violence from the left against conservatives, as I say, in the nation's history, political violence doesn't come from the right, besides the fact that this was a funny gif. The great thing is now CNN, I assume you've got your listeners up. It's really ruined my sleeping patterns this weekend. It's been so much fun. I get in late last night. It turns out the CNN, were you on Twitter last night? It was the most fun hour. CNN has tracked down the original creator of that gif, the silly gif of, and it's not even a person. Oh, for Pete's sake, it's the CNN person that Trump is beating up on the gif. It's just his face is a box with his CNN logo. It's a cartoon from WWE. in any event, CNN tracks down this anonymous private individual who originally created the GIF, goes through his social media profile, as the kids say, threatening to dox him, which is to say produce all of his oeuvre online and perhaps other documents that would bring him into public humiliation and ridicule. He has to call the CNN reporter up, apologize, say he agrees with everything the CNN reporter says, promises never to post anything again, eliminates his account on Reddit, and CNN issues an announcement that all of this has happened, saying, but we reserve the right to publish his identity if he recants on his apology. This is, as weirdly enough, Julian Assange pointed out on Twitter. He posted the New York State law on this. This is a crime, what CNN has done against a private citizen. And so now Twitter is reacting, and I strongly encourage this, and anyone who's capable of creating a GIF and is listening right now, I beg you to keep creating GIFs from worldwide wrestling, hockey, with Trump beating up the CNN logo head.
Wow. Hey, also when they did the Shakespeare in the Park stabbing Trump, and it was a graphic version with blood and everything, CNN anchor Fareed Zakaria called it a masterpiece.
Yeah, I'd also like to say about this, because no one has commented on this, and you have smart listeners. They ought to know this. What I find really weirdest about the Julius Caesar play in the park is that these are all the fancy New York people always sneering at Walmart shoppers and the ignorant Trump voters. Anyone with the most passing familiarity with Shakespeare's Julius Caesar know that Julius Caesar is the hero. It is a story of the mob, exactly what I describe in my book, Demonic, of the mob ganging up and assassinating a great leader. Yeah. That is the whole point of the play. So when I found out, they turned around and said, well, there was one where Obama was portrayed as Julius Caesar. No, that made sense. I mean, I think it's stupid to update, contemporize Shakespeare. But Julius Caesar, he's the hero. He's the one you like, and you hate the people. It would be like Obama in liberal fantasies. Obama, the great president, and the Tea Party mob gangs up and assassinates him. I promise you they were not cheering that in the theaters where it was being put on. But that shows you how ignorant and illiterate the fancy New York City crowd is. You know, money does not buy culture or IQ, and they're all in Central Park cheering and laughing when the hero of the piece is being assassinated by a mob. They don't even know their Shakespeare. It's pathetic.
Also, the Obama one, it was just kind of a cardboard knife, and he did the motion of falling. In this Trump one, it's a real knife. There's blood all over the place.
And it goes on and on and on with the crowd laughing and cheering. They're utter ignoramuses.
Hey, the other thing is about the tweet, the CNN tweet. You got all the Chuck Todds over and over again. Is this how he spends his time? Is this all he has to do all day? Is this? I think it was like...
How long do they think it takes?
30 seconds during breakfast. That was it. You got 500 tweets up today. How long did that take you? 5 minutes?
No, it takes longer to brush your teeth than to send out a tweet. That's why I love Twitter so much. I also this hysteria over the horrible thing that the guy who created the GIF. I think he was the one who was supposed to have done this. He sent out a picture of all these CNN people listing all of the Jews who work at CNN. And there were like 200 of them. And I got to tell you, it was an arresting photo, mostly because, you know, the media are the ones who are insisting. I'm sorry, every local newscast has got to have one Asian, one Hispanic, one black. Soon it's going to be one Muslim. These people are so obsessed with, it's all white men in Trump's cabinet. Wait, but somebody can't point out that you have a kind of a disproportionate number of Jews working at your network. I mean, just the hypocrisy of this is stunning.
Hey, let me ask you one more thing. Putin and Trump are supposed to meet this Friday. Now, obviously, the media will want to tell you afterwards, it was a disaster. They didn't hit it off. They didn't like it. But they just told us for a year they're best friends. They're colluding.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, this was one of the policies Trump was elected on. Obviously, immigration, number one, trade, number two, not taking us to war, number three, but also having better relations with Russia in order to, for Pete's sake, we allied with Stalin during World War II. I think we can ally with Putin in the real war we are up against, which is against Islam right now. Islamic radicals, most Muslims are peaceful, blah, 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 usual boilerplate. But that is where the war is here. Come on, give me a break. North Korea isn't going to nuke us, and they'd only hit Seattle anyway. But this is what Americans want to do here, to combine with, yes, a corrupt regime, we don't want to live there. We have lots of allies where we don't want to live. And it's disturbing that the left is using this phony story to distract from the many scandals of the Obama administration. For example, when are we going to get to they're using the IRS to torment and deny tax-exempt status for Tea Party groups? On the basis of speech, it really is an outrageous thing. I know years have gone by, but they want to distract and forget the Hillary private server and so on and so forth, but also this attack on this weird obsession with Russia has harmed Trump in being able to establish an important relationship. Russia has been fighting these Muslim devils or Russia has for centuries.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but we're out of time. But everybody, if you haven't gotten Ann Coulter's book, In Trump We Trust, it's a big bestseller. If you want to read the best Trump book, In Trump We Trust, you go to AnnCoulter.com. And the new column comes out tomorrow, right?
No, remember, with 4th of July, it comes out in a matter of hours.
Oh, I'm all messed up. I don't know what day it is this week.
It's Wednesday, Mark.
It's Wednesday, so it comes out...
Boy, it's a good thing I called in.
Yes, in a few hours, but what you do is go to AnnCoulter.com, sign up there. You get it before anybody else, AnnCoulter.com, and follow Ann Coulter on Twitter and Facebook and all of that. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
All right, take care.